Hey everyone, Coach and Hoka One One Athletes, Canaday here with another Training Talk Tuesday. Well, it is a little Wednesday, getting it out a little bit late here. But I wanted to do two this week actually because we had a unique thing. We had a tie with the votes when I checked, tie vote with the questions. So we're going to do two videos. I'll probably get the next one out in the next day or two. Sorry for the delay again. First question though that got the most votes with the tie is Training Talk Tuesday question. Hey Sage, if you didn't have any running experience but still had all of your knowledge, what would you focus on in your first 1 to 2 years of training? So great question there. The first variable I'm going to say in the answer is it depends on your chronological age, actual age. So a lot of people, when I started running, I was a kid, right? So it's a little bit different when you're 12 years old versus if you're an adult and you're 32 years old or 42 years old and you start running, right? Because with kids, I'd say a lot of times you're still growing, you got growth plates coming in. You don't need to be super serious about distance running. You want to be patient, more patient, and you probably are interested maybe in other sports. You're trying to figure things out maybe academically in school, your social structure with friends and family. There's a lot of things going on as an adolescent kid especially. So I started playing soccer when I was 5 years old, and I was running around the woods playing tag, having fun. Doing all these other sports. Wasn't very good at soccer though. Eventually quit when I was 12, got more serious into running, but was never super serious, especially about distance running. It's better to build your athleticism, your coordination when you're still growing as a kid, and doing other sports kind of more as a mental break. You're maybe not quite as disciplined. Whereas if you're an adult, you could focus right in on running. You say, hey, my goal is to be able to run a marathon. What should I do? Well, in both cases, though, you are building that aerobic base. And when I say building the aerobic base, the foundation, you can check out some of my other training talks on that. It's the idea that you're easing into things. You're easing in with slower, easy-paced running, right? Most beginners, they want to be fast. They want to do the marathon right away, qualify for Boston, boom, boom, boom. Some of you could do that pretty quickly. Other people, it might take years and years, 5 or 10 years, to really build up. But again, it depends on your chronological age, and then you track your running age. When did you start running, right? So a little bit different, but start off slow and gradually. Maybe you have to start off with a walk run combination, right? You could only run for a minute at a time. That was me a couple months ago, actually, when I had some health issues. But you have to be patient with it, because if you rush into it too fast, you try to get your mileage up to 60 miles a week, 100K a week, and you're coming from zero, you could easily get an overuse injury, right? Stress fracture, muscle strain, tendon strain. It's a lot of impact force. And then mentally, it's going to be really hard because running's a hard sport. It's a hard thing. And if you don't give yourself time to adapt physically and mentally, you could kind of overstress yourself, overtrain. It becomes a very stressful thing. You don't enjoy it. Your love for the sport kind of fades maybe. So it's better to do things very gradually. Start at a very slow pace. Start building your mileage up. Mainly easy pace conversational running. Do it. Have it be social maybe. Listen to music if you're on a treadmill or something like that. Keep it fun. Keep it light. Keep it pretty low mileage. But slowly be thinking, I'm building an aerobic base. I'm slowly progressing. I'm not worrying about going to the track and ripping 400 meters really fast or doing all these really hard workouts or what my average pace is every single day. Some days you could definitely increase the pace, but generally getting well-rounded as an athlete. And the other thing that goes with that to build injury resistance is having a well-balanced routine, not just in your sleep and your diet and work-life balance and stress, but in terms of maybe still going to a gym or doing some push-ups and sit-ups and core work, just little 5-10 minutes every other day to build yourself, to build some strength, right? Make sure your health is in order first before you start serious distance running training. And start at 5Ks. Start doing 5Ks, 10Ks. That's how we started off in school. I was running 1,500 meters, 800 meters, shorter distances. The goal was always to do the marathons and ultra marathons maybe, but it's better to just start off with shorter distances, build your way up, experience what a half marathon feels like, get the joy of finishing your first marathon, and realize it's a process. So you want to be healthy in this endeavor. And my final note on that would be, get checked out by a doctor maybe. In the US, before we do high school sports or middle school sports, any school sport, you have to get a physical by a doctor and get signed off on it. Make sure you don't have any underlying health issues or problems that could cause that could come up when you start running if you haven't really been running at all. So make sure you could even get, blood work done. Sandy and I are sponsored by this company, Athlete Blood Test. We have a promo code. I'll put it in the description below. You get a discount. But it's a very thorough blood analysis, blood test by scientists. And it says, hey, make sure you're not low in some vitamin or mineral that could really affect your energy levels when you start running, right? If you're just sitting around all day, you might not know you're deficient in something. But once you start training, it could really hurt your progress and aerobic development as a runner if you're, not squared away with that. So get the blood work done, get checked out by a doctor, make sure, the heart and lungs are operating well. It's a liability thing here in the U.S. too. Not all doctors are created equal, but it's not a bad idea to make sure, you're starting healthy, you don't have any muscle strains already, because you start limping with bad form, start increasing your mileage, things are just going to get worse for you. So really, it's about health and happiness and enjoying the sport, especially as a beginner, because you want that love to just kind of grow over time. And, this first couple years, really important to build that aerobic base and that foundation, but also that good habits with good running form. It's my last training talk last week, as well as, staying as healthy as possible and hopefully really increasing your health. A lot of people have much better well-being, mental and physical. Maybe they lose some excess body fat, they eat healthier, they get more dialed in, able to sleep better, and work more productively even sometimes with a great sport like running. So that's really my talk on beginners focusing. And, it does depend on your age. And, if you have kids in the sport, it's good to keep them interested, but realize they might like other sports a lot as well. But good sport like soccer, I was building that aerobic base at a young age already. And to, be patient with the mileage and speed and realize that adaptations, you might start feeling really good, right away after a couple weeks of higher mileage. Well, you still need to think of it in terms of months and years when you're looking at a training cycle or looking to progress, as well as, be patient after you do your first half marathon, or after you start building for a marathon, realize that it could take months and months and months to really get your long run strength up and to get those aerobic adaptations. So great question there. Since I'm doing another training talk really soon here, we're going to save our comments and questions for next week on this second video. It'll be episode number 16, Training Talk Tuesday. But thanks so much for everyone who submitted questions from last week, and hope you're doing well. Thanks to title sponsor Hoka One One, keeping the dream alive. Again, Coach Sandy and I sell training plans at our coaching website, higherrunning.com. That is a sponsored business plug, but it's for any surface, any distance. Again, hope you're doing well. Stay tuned. Be sure to subscribe on here. Thanks to the Patreon supporters for making this channel possible. And stay tuned for more VO2 Max Productions.